go to our next candidate, who is running for Rockdale County Commissioner, and that is Iffat Walker. So if we can have Iffat join us here, so we can. Good
afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for the opportunity to share on this platform with you today. This is an exciting thing to see people from the Caribbean diaspora come together and speak about our purpose in running for office. My name is Iffat Walker. I'm from the island of St. Thomas in the U.S. Virgin Islands. I've been a resident and taxpaying citizen and homeowner in Rockdale County since 2008. This is my second time living in Rockdale County. I lived here in 1997 to 1998 for a short period. I'm running for Rockdale County Post 2 Commissioner for three very specific reasons, okay? These are the core things that I want to achieve in Rockdale County. One, fiscal accountability. Two, ethical leadership. Three, transparency. If you've been paying attention to Fox 5 News within the past 2 weeks, you would see why those are some critical things that need to take place. We have a serious problem in our county with fiscal accountability. Our tax dollars are consistently being played with, consistently just spending it as if they're, you know, as our county paid finance director stated, it is being spent as if it is an unlimited credit card. We don't have time for that. We never have, and no county, no community in Georgia or anywhere else should put up with that type of leadership. It's time for a change in Rockdale County. One of the things I want to do is restore trust, restore pride in this community. You go anywhere on any of the sites within Rockdale County, on the Rockdale County websites or social media, there's constant complaints. There's constant lack of trust consistently across the board. Why? Because we do not currently have a governance that is operating in a transparent manner. I'm an accountant of over 15 years. I own an accounting firm. I'm also a nonprofit executive since 2014. My work in a community goes beyond that of me simply being a business owner. I'm a stakeholder in this community that has worked with numerous families, not only in the East Metro Atlanta area, which includes Conyers and Rockdale County, but surrounding communities and communities around the world. My work speaks for itself. And at the end of the day, when it comes to getting things done, I've consistently been able to do that for every community I've ever touched in. Outside of an accountant and a nonprofit executive, I'm also an activist in the state of Georgia and have been so for over 15 years. And I'm very proud of that. Oftentimes when you think of politics and you think of activists, they don't usually match, but I think it's the best fit for leaders. I think we need to get away from career politicians and get more into those that have consistently been already working in the community and doing things for free. Not that we, you know, it's a much change. I think it's changing the platform and allowing an opportunity to make real change from a seat that can actually make decisions and empower others within our community to do the same. I want to see a community where people are not afraid to speak up. I want to live in a community where we can be proud of being this community. I want to drive off exit 82 up 20 and see a manicured runway. I don't want to see a bunch of weeds and dead trees on the side of the road. It's time to change the way we look. It's time to reinvent what Rockdale County is and reimagine who we are as a community. As your next Post 2 Commissioner of Rockdale County, I pledge to do just that, to lead with fiscal accountability, to lead with ethical leadership and transparency.
Okay, great, wonderful. Thank you so much, Iffat Walker. So now I have some questions for you. We have the Sigmund Road corridor, okay? And that study has produced some recommendations on the design and zoning and potential development along there. My question for you is, how are you going to use that information? Are you going to use this information to move this project forward to benefit the residents of Rockdale?
And moving forward, anything in Rockdale County, it requires the buy-in of the community residents. There's been a lot of discussion about that corridor. There's been a lot of agreements versus disagreements. But what has not happened is a solid plan of action, okay? That is not putting, again, going into the pockets of taxpayers in the middle of a medical pandemic. I believe that it's time to begin to think outside of the box. I believe that it requires that we pull our community to the forward and actually accept some of the information as far as their input, okay, in the community. We don't have consistent community forums. We have a serious problem with communication in Rockdale County. So we have to first make sure our community is aware, fully aware, okay? Get their buy-in, look at alternative measures of making changes to that area, and then moving forward. But we need to first address what the internal issues with our, before we do anything with any type of building out or plans for the community, is fix internally what's going on.
Okay, great. Thank you. So another question I have for you is, as Rockdale County is building out and there's more and more residents, new residents flocking to Rockdale, and businesses are continuing to grow, how are you going to address this zoning problem with this influx of people and businesses and sporting complex and so forth? How will you address that?
I believe that we should begin to look at conservation communities. I believe that we should begin to look at zoning that allows for a vertical building as opposed to what we currently have. What we currently have and what we're seeing in the zoning right now is there's too much building. There's too much, as opposed to looking at what we already have and looking at ways to reinvent that. Why does that matter? Because it bears down on our water infrastructure. We're already having problems with our water infrastructure. And if we do not consider where we are as a community as it relates to our water, because Rockdale County is currently a water independent county, okay, that feeds to a couple of other counties. But that within itself is not being properly maintained. The zoning has to properly accommodate the needs and the, I guess it would be called the barriers for our current infrastructure as it is right now. Infrastructure has to be the priority before we continue forward with any type of building. And we have to address the amount of building by way of zoning, meaning there may be a time where we have to pause on some building. There may be a time, and I think that time is near.
Okay, great. Thank you. Now, I think we have, well, actually, we have a couple more minutes for a couple more questions. So there's questions about the traffic on Old Salem and Highway 138. It's terribly dense. The roads need to be wider to accommodate this new congestion. What are your plans to relieve this tragic traffic nightmare?
Absolutely. That is something that I believe it's critical. It's a part of our infrastructure, which is a priority. We have to work with the State Department. We have to work with our neighboring counties and coming up with a real plan of action, including the city of Conyers, okay, in addressing that. When it comes to our traffic, again, we have an infrastructure problem. We have to properly plan. What's happening now is we're not properly planning. When our business zoning is it's not matching the roads. Our residential buildings that are building out is not matching the road accessibility that we have. We don't have sidewalks, okay? And most of the places, and if we do have sidewalks, they'll start on one side of the street and they'll end up in the bushes. So it's not properly planned out. Our strategic planning of the county as a whole is lopsided. So we have to start there with our strategic planning, working with our state partners, and ensuring that we have a long-term plan of action that matches the strategic plan for the roads.
Okay, great, awesome. And if we got about 30 seconds left for you, so we got one question from Facebook, and it goes like this: can you discuss how small business owners benefit from a vote for Iffat Walker? Okay, you're muted. You got
I'm
about,
sorry, can you repeat that question for me?
yes, this come from Facebook page. Someone says, can you discuss how small business owners benefit from a vote for Iffat Walker? You have less than 30 seconds.
Absolutely. Small, and I thank you for that question. As an accountant, I've worked with many small businesses that have moved into Rockdale County or have had an interest in. One of the things that we've noticed that is a top priority is that Rockdale County is not business friendly on the startup side. I'm going to work with our departments in ensuring that the process is a much easier process than we currently have. And that has to be additionally dealing with our zoning as well as our ordinances for the types of businesses. But we first have to start with the processes and even documenting that a business can exist in a county, making that easier. That's not the easiest process as it currently exists. We have to change and make Rockdale County a business-friendly county, which it currently is not.
Great. Thank you very much, Iffat Walker, for sharing with us your plans for Rockdale County. Now,